Good afternoon, Paul and Bhargav. It's Monday, the 31st of July. Here's the heads up brief for today. For the Southeast Asia production, we covered 21 issues. In North Asia, we covered 11, and for Australasia and the Pacific Islands, we covered 7. In South Asia, we covered 22 issues, plus the major issues in Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Okay, excellent. Hi, Bhargav. Hope you both had a good weekend. Go ahead, Uday.
Great. So regarding political developments concerning the Thai elections, the Pheu Thai party has claimed to have support from the Bumja Thai party. This is as the Move Forward party says that it will remain in the ruling coalition, but the Bumja Thai party has said that it will not work in a coalition with Move Forward party. So it's still quite messy at the moment.
And I guess that's all around the Move Forward party announcing unacceptable things that Bumja Thai can't live with.
Yes.
Specifically, lay majeste and things related to the pulling back the powers of the royal family. Is that correct?
Yes, and also limiting the power of the military.
Okay, thank you.
In Timor-Leste, the Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources said that the government's priority was to bring the Greater Sunrise Pipeline to Timor-Leste and not to Australia, as an Australian company, Woodside, has been seeking.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, there's two things to consider here as we format the next fortnightly report. One is it would be wonderful to have the pipeline in Timor-Leste, but I would have thought the minister's greatest priority would actually be getting revenue, given that they've disastrously been using the petroleum fund instead of getting their next resources online. And if we look now, there's going to be a several-year delay to construct even after they sign a contract, and then don't seem to be getting any closer to that. It appears that the ministers are very much about being popular, but not very much about managing an economy. This is a sad plight. I was hoping with the Horta Janana Gusmao Quinella in power, they might get some common sense moving forward. Now, I know those personalities want to see it, but the fact that they're talking about their greatest priority to do something that may not be economically feasible or may not be a sound investment, may use a lot of money unwisely, it's concerned that I think the greatest priority is just to do it rather than to manage the economy and get the funds to rebolster the money that was used inappropriately instead of getting resource projects online. Okay, thank you. And I believe something's happening in Mongolia in relation to the finance minister.
Yes, Paul. The finance minister of Mongolia stated that the country was willing to cooperate with Russia in establishing new gas supply routes to the east, particularly towards countries like China and India.
Okay, that's really interesting, and from a long-term, common sense, non-subjective Western opinion, that bodes well for the global economy. Thank you.
Yeah. In South Asia, in Pakistan, at least 44 people were killed and over 150 people were injured after a suicide bomb attack in Bajar district in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa during a Jamaat Ulama Islam Fazil Workers Convention in the district.
The ghastly series of attacks in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa continues. It'll be interesting to know who is actually behind this, especially when JUIF happens to be an Islamist party or a party which is closer to the Islamist ulemas in madrasas. So we'll keep a close eye on this. If I were to reflect on my own hunch, it is likely to be a turf war between the Islamist parties themselves, especially the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, supported by the Afghan Taliban.
Right. And also regarding terrorism in Pakistan, the European Union Aviation Safety Agency issued a warning to aircrafts against flying at low altitudes over Karachi and Lahore this week. This is due to reports of the presence of violent non-state actor groups with anti-aviation weaponry. Pakistani operators and owners have rejected the advisory and said it's untrue.
All right, then let's keep a close eye on such advisories. The situation in Pakistan is quite unstable, so it wouldn't be surprising if the terror groups, especially such as Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, who have had a history of recruitment in the suburbs of Karachi, do extend their area of operations.
Right, we'll keep an eye out on it. And
It's interesting, just hang on a sec there, it's interesting that in a country that's just stated, that's just had a major incident, major bombing of a political party, and that's third time, I think, Bhargav, that particular political party's been attacked, that they then go and criticise the European Union aviation with a very factual, not true, seems that they are having troubles not only controlling their security paradigm, but commercial businesses perhaps just have totally given up on the security and just concerned with the easiest way to make money, because it wouldn't be very wise to reject that European Union Safety Agency's advisory. Bhargav, that political party's been attacked a couple of times before. Can't remember the years, but is that correct?
That's correct, Paul. So JUIF has been at the receiving end of multiple political as well as terror attacks, especially in some of these sensitive areas of Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and parts of Sindh as well. Now, there are a couple of convoluted issues here. Firstly, aviation sector in Pakistan has seen some of the troubled times, especially the Pakistan international airlines. They have been banned by some of these agencies in the West. So that doesn't really come as a surprise that they resort to denial and deflection. So second aspect is security-wise, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan are extremely sensitive, and geographically they are fairly far removed from Sindh, which is a low-lying desert and coastal area. So now the security concerns are although appreciated, but they may not be as serious as it is made out to be at this point.
Okay, thank you.
right. And the deputy leader of the United National Party in Sri Lanka said that there will be elections next year. He said the elections will include the presidential election, the general election, and local government elections. These have all been delayed since the civil unrest last year.
And no month was mentioned?
No more details on the dates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In Europe, the Russian Defense Ministry stated that it downed 3 Ukrainian drones that tried to strike the capital, Moscow. Ukrainian President Zelensky said that the war is returning to Russia's territory, and that they will continue attacks within Russia's borders as it is a fair process.
That's quite interesting. So Zelensky is actually admitting carrying out attacks on civilian targets in Russian homeland. So that basically takes out all the restrictions or constraints that ever was to basically go for all-out war. I do not see how this is a very prudent move on his part. Now, what is stopping Russia from attacking Kiev up front? So that's a question which emanates from his statement.
And Bhargav, I think until now it's been restraint. I mean, what everybody has been conveniently overlooking from the West is Kiev was attacking people of Russian derivative that were living in Ukraine, but were Ukrainian citizens. They were attacking their own. And anywhere in the world, that would be a war crime if it wasn't your own people. Instead, it's a human rights crime. Zelensky, this is not the first time he's gone on record stating, I did that when civilians died. Ultimately, we sympathise with the Ukrainian people, but we also have to point out Zelensky's naivety or arrogance to get, what now best guess 300,000 the fighting age and the better trained troops dead. That's not including injured. At what point are the Ukrainian people going to start? Why do we actually go to this war? How is this helping us to a peaceful existence by joining NATO when our country's going through such a disaster? And history's going to judge who indeed was this trying to help. So it's sad indeed. Thanks.
That's the heads up brief for today. Anything else from you?
No thanks.